Thank you. All right, I call the Milliken Board of Trustees meeting for May 14th, 2025 to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Will the town clerk please call roll?
Yes. Trustee Beckman.
Here.
Trustee Lane.
Here.
Trustee Nix.
Here.
Trustee Orcutt.
Here.
Trustee Wakeman.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean.
Present.
Mayor Austin.
Yes, here, present. Pick one. All right. Does anybody have any changes or additions to the agenda? Hearing none, I'll take a motion.
I move that we accept the agenda as presented.
Second.
Town clerk, please call for a vote.
Trustee Lane.
Yes.
Trustee Nix.
Yes.
Trustee Orcutt.
Yes.
Trustee Wakeman.
Yes.
Trustee Beckman.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean.
Yes.
Mayor Austin.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. All right, we have a proclamation regarding Mental Health Month. So, whereas now more than ever, we must understand that health of our minds is as important as physical health, and whereas 1 in every 4 people are affected by mental illness, with more Weld County residents having reported mental health challenges such as depressions, anxiety, or other mental health conditions than in years past, and whereas Milliken residents can find recovery through a variety of outpatient, residential, and critical walk-in crisis support options through Weld County's Community Mental Health Center, North Range Behavioral Health. And whereas National Mental Health Month is observed every May to raise awareness about behavioral health, recovery, and hope, the importance of prevention, and the factors that contribute to mental health. Therefore, I, Elizabeth Austin, Mayor of the Town of Milliken, do hereby proclaim May 2025 as Mental Health Month in the Town of Milliken and call upon citizens, government agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, and schools to recommit our community to increasing awareness and understanding of behavioral health and understanding the need for appropriate and accessible services for all citizens. Thank you. Okay. Next on the agenda is citizens' comments. Do we have any citizens' comments? Anybody that wishes to address the board? Seeing none, we'll move right on. Do we have any changes to the minutes from April 23rd, 2025? Hearing none, I'll take an motion.
Move to approve the minutes from April 23rd, 2025.
I second.
Town clerk, please call for a vote.
Sorry. Trustee Nix.
Yes.
Trustee Orcutt.
Yes.
Trustee Wakeman.
Yes.
Trustee Beckman.
Yes.
Trustee Lane.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean.
Yes.
Mayor Austin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the town administrator's report. Administrator Powell.
Yes, thank you, Mayor and trustees. As we've talked before about changing phone providers for our phones in offices at Town Hall and the Police Department and the other facilities we have, Ring Central will be our new office phone provider, and this system should be in place by the end of June. Also, we've spoken about changing the retirement company that we currently, that we've used to Colorado Retirement Association. They came and presented at an all-employee meeting on Thursday, May 8th. They will commence taking our retirement contributions beginning May 16th. So Courtney's hard at work changing all that information. Maybe now would be a good time, Rick. So the Parks Department has been busy getting our irrigation systems up and running. And I just want to present an example of that.
Wow.
It froze.
There, Mr.
So this is Keith and Jason.
Use the coastline and the ice formed on.
Oh, they got sprayed.
Keith got a little wet. So they were cleaning out valve boxes, and that is what occurred a few times this week. So we figured we'd pick on Keith.
There you go. There. Yeah. That's pretty bad.
So mowing has also begun in the parks. The bathrooms are being opened. Culverts have been cleaned out this week with a jet truck. So they've really gotten clean. So any debris inside of them, hopefully gone, and won't have to do that much for another 10 years. On May 9th, the town was notified by Central Wild Water District that they were having an issue with a main transmission line. So last weekend, all outdoor watering was prohibited. So, but that is the reason why. It is now up and running, except for we interrupted that with, we are changing a new line out for the alluvial well blending. So they're trying to get it reconnected tonight in this wonderful rain. So. Town staff also met with Hillsborough Ditch Board on Wednesday, May 7th, to discuss how we can work better together on ditch crossings. The crossing that took place for the alluvial well blending project had a few hiccups, so it was a good discussion. And hopefully going forward, all that will run much smoother. An interview for the finance director position will be taking place on Friday. And we'll keep you apprised of how that process goes. So the Quintine Storm water crossing, the 16-inch water line tie-in is scheduled for today, and excavation for the concrete box culverts will begin on Thursday. Maybe, depends. The Cape sealing will start on May 23rd with a chip seal layer. The slurry seal will take place on May 29th and 30th. Also, Hilltop Broadband is working diligently to address some of their punch list items. So they weren't installing any new line this last week. They were fixing problem areas that had occurred. So, and I think that's what I have.
Questions or
Any
comments from the
questions?
board? Nothing? How many applications did we have for finance director?
We're still getting some in.
Oh, you're still getting them in? Okay.
Yeah. But in a position like that, if somebody sends one in early, you don't want to make them wait for
Right.
very long. So at least to get them in and interviewed, and then hopefully be able to, within a week or so, be able to fill that position, or at least make an offer.
Sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? All right, good report.
Thanks.
It's really sad that our guys are out working in the rain. Thought I'd mention.
Yeah, they're all getting wet this week, one way or another.
Yeah. All right, next on the agenda is the consent agenda. This includes a resolution to change the meeting dates for June, November, and December. A resolution accepting the resignation of Brian Lane due to his relocation. And then we have a resolution designating an individual to temporarily perform the duties of finance director. I'll take a motion on the agenda.
Motion to approve consent agenda?
A second.
Town clerk, please call for a vote.
Trustee Orcutt?
Yes.
Trustee Wakeman?
Yes.
Trustee Beckman?
Yes.
Trustee Lane?
Yes.
Trustee Nix?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean?
Yes.
Mayor Austin?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. All right. The first item on the agenda is a public hearing. It is to consider adoption of resolution number 2025-12, a resolution amending the budget for 2025 to recognize additional revenues and expenditures. The time is 6:43. I'm opening the public hearing, and presenting is interim Finance Director Courtney Diller.
Good evening, Mayor and trustees. Tonight before you is Resolution 2025-12 to amend the 2025 budget for the additional expenses for the upcoming, on your meeting tonight, item for the drainage project out at Public Works. It's $155,000 difference, and it will be coming out of the ARPA funds. Any questions?
Okay. Any public comments? Okay. Comments from the board. Trustee Wakeman?
No questions.
Trustee Lean?
No questions.
Trustee Nix? No. Trustee Beckman?
No questions.
Trustee Orcutt?
No questions.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean?
No questions.
Pretty clear cut, and we definitely need to get that project done. Thank you very much for presenting. There's no further discussion. I will close the public hearing at 6:44. Town clerk, or I'll take a motion on the matter.
I move to adopt Resolution 2025-12, recognizing and appropriating funds to carry out activities and complete projects approved by the town board.
I second.
Town clerk, please call for a vote.
Trustee Wakeman,
Yes.
Trustee Beckman,
Yes.
Trustee Lane,
Yes.
Trustee Nix,
Yes.
Trustee Orcutt,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean,
Yes.
Mayor Austin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is a public hearing to consider a site plan for a drive-through restaurant coffee shop. The time is 6:45. I'm opening the public hearing, and presenting will be the Community Development Director, Pepper McClanahan.
Thank you, Mayor and trustees. Before you tonight is a site plan for a property that's located in the downtown. A conditional use permit for a drive-through restaurant on these parcels was granted by the board on February of 2024. The parcel involves 3 lots, lots 12, 13, and 14. It's located on the corner of North Irene and Broad. And staff worked extensively with the development team of the applicant in order to get this site plan ready to go for you. And it involves a 250 square foot coffee shop with a walk-up window. It's based on the information of the applicant. The business will employ 2 to 3 employees. There is off-site parking provided for these employees. It will operate and be open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Off-street parking is provided with off-street parking with 4 spaces, including 1 accessible handicap space. The stacking space required by code is 4 vehicles, which is met by the site design, and there is a stacking diagram provided in your packet. Landscaping is being provided on site and also within unused portions of North Irene Avenue right-of-way, which is platted as an 80-foot wide right-of-way. We did include a draft development agreement in your packet. The applicant has been provided a copy of that as well. And the Planning Commission recommended that this be forwarded to you for approval. Staff recommends that we find that it's consistent with the Town of Milliken's comprehensive plan, land use code, and conditional use review criteria. Staff finds that the use with conditions listed below will be compatible with surrounding land uses and meets the intent of the mixed-use commercial downtown district, as well as the site plan criteria. Staff recommends the following conditions of approval. There will be one removed. We just received this document yesterday, and so it does satisfy one of the conditions, and it will require a revision to that draft development agreement as well. So I'll read the conditions without the one that's been satisfied. Condition number 1 is that the site plan agreement will be executed with the town. That's the draft agreement in the packet. The owner and applicant, consistent with the draft provided in the May 14th Board of Trustees packet. Number 2, the site plan shall be recorded with the Weld County Clerk and Recorder's Office prior to application for the building permit and prior to any construction commencing on the site. Number 3, prior to commencement of the use, the applicant must also submit any other required applications and obtain building permits, including but not limited to sign permit, business permit, and food service licenses and inspections. These conditions of approval shall become part of the town's business license for the use. Number 4, prior to commencement of irrigation, for the landscaping, the owner shall complete a pressure test on the main line and complete a walkthrough with the Milliken Parks director. And then the new number 5 will be the business shall comply with all the requirements of the conditional use approved by, on the February 2024 board agenda. And with that, I submit this for your consideration. There is a resolution in the packet. I believe, is there a resolution? No, just the draft agreement. And I'm happy to answer any questions. I'll note that the applicant is in the audience to address you.
Would the applicant like to address the board with any comments before we go to questions? No? Good. Welcome back. All right, questions from the board, starting with Trustee Wakeman.
Just a quick, and I looked through and I feel like I had some idea, but I know initially that there were maybe some concerns about backup traffic and what's the, I just was wondering if you could review what's anticipated if it's more than 4 cars, where that traffic may back up.
Let me pull out I should have this memorized, and the applicant may be able to provide more precise information, but there is sufficient stacking on location for about 11, 12 cars.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And I believe when they did the stacking, they used like Ford F-250.
Right,
so
larger
like
vehicles. Yeah, that's what I
long
did see
vehicles,
that.
so it could even probably be more, I'd imagine.
So are we anticipating that cars will turn and go up Cherry to enter the drive-through, or turn on Irene and have to make that left turn in?
They'll exit to the right, because if they have stacking,
Right.
they'll
right.
be, yeah.
But where
They would
we
be trying to go against traffic to turn left.
Yeah, where are we
out of it.
anticipating that traffic will come off of 60, I guess, is my question.
Could be a number of places, but yes, they could be coming, if they're coming west, they'll turn right onto North Irene. If they're coming from the west to the east, they'll turn left on North Irene to go in there. The alley we are going to label as a one-way, so that when they exit out, they are not going to be competing with traffic coming down the alley. Incidentally, the alley is being required to be surfaced for the length of this property. So, yes, so likely when they're exiting from the property, they're going to be going right, and then they can
Onto
go
Irene.
left or right back out onto Broad.
They'll come in on Irene and exit on, what's the next one down?
Cherry.
No, Cherry runs the other way.
Oh, okay.
But they could also, go down Josephine and come around on Cherry and come up that way.
Okay.
The goal is not to have a lot of stacking in the
Yeah.
street.
Yeah, I just know those residents were concerned, and obviously it's commercial use area. It's what the intention is for the zoning, but I know those residents were kind of concerned about traffic flow in the area, so that's the reason for my question. And that's it.
And I'll defer any more specifics.
Sure,
to-
we'll hope you're busy enough to worry about that, right?
Okay, Trustee Lane,
I have no questions.
Trustee Nix,
I have no questions.
Trustee Orcutt?
My question was answered about the alley. I was concerned about that, but if it's a one-way and then paved, I'm not concerned about it. So,
Okay.
nothing.
Trustee Beckman?
No questions.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean?
No questions.
No, I have no questions either. The design looks good, and it's pretty clean. And I definitely like the landscaping, so very nice. Okay, if there are no comments from the public, any comments at all? Okay. None? We won't force you to speak. Okay. All right. The time is 6:53, and I'll close the public hearing. I'll take a motion on the matter.
Go for it.
I move to approve the site plan for a drive-through restaurant coffee shop on lots 12, 13, and 14 of Block 41, Town of Milliken, to the Board of Trustees with the conditions outlined by staff.
I second.
Town clerk, please call for a vote.
Trustee Beckman?
Yes.
Trustee Lane?
Yes.
Trustee Nix?
Yes.
Trustee Orcutt?
Yes.
Trustee Wakeman?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean?
Yes.
Mayor Austin?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Welcome to town. All right. Next item is another public hearing, imagine that, for consideration and adoption of ordinance number 2025-824, amending section 16-2-170 of the Milliken Municipal Code. The time is 6:54, and I'm opening the public hearing. Presenting again will be Pepper McClenahan, Community Development Director.
Thank you, Mayor and trustees. This ordinance would amend the C4 Business District to add storage facilities as a conditional use. Storage facilities are currently allowed in the light industrial and medium industrial districts, as well as the C5 Special Business District. Self-storage facilities are defined in the municipal code as a commercial facility in which customers can rent space to store possessions. It's differentiated from outdoor storage, which includes storage of unroofed items. It also is different from the definition of mini storage facilities in that rentable units in mini storage facilities is restricted to a gross floor area not greater than 360 square feet. So this would allow larger boat or RV or camp trailers or something like that if somebody wanted to roof those. Adding self-storage facilities as a conditional use to C4 allows the town to consider when facilities fit on a specific property zone of C4 versus allowing as a use by right, which means that subject to site plan review, it would be an allowed use. And to minimize or eliminate potential impacts through site-specific conditions of the conditional use permit. And so with that, staff is recommending approval of ordinance 2025-824, amending the C4 Business District.
Okay. So do we have any public comment? I'll take questions from the board. Trustee Beckman?
No questions.
Trustee Orcutt?
No questions.
Trustee Nix?
No questions.
Trustee Lane?
No questions.
Trustee Wakeman?
No questions.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean?
No questions.
Pretty clear cut to me. Thank you. I don't have any questions either. So there's no further discussion. I'll close the public hearing at 6:57. Take a motion on the matter.
I move to adopt ordinance number 2025-824, an ordinance amending section 16-2-170 of the Milliken Municipal Code.
Second.
Town clerk, please call for a vote.
Trustee Lane?
Yes.
Trustee Nix?
Yes.
Trustee Orcutt?
Yes.
Trustee Wakeman?
Yes.
Trustee Beckman?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean?
Yes.
Mayor Austin?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item is resolution number 2025-16, authorizing certain individuals to act on behalf of the town in business with TBK Bank and other financial matters. Presenting is Cheryl Powell, Town Administrator.
Thank you, Mayor. I did this before we appointed Courtney, so I just wanted to clean up what we have at TBK Bank, take certain individuals off of the bank account and add individuals that could be added to this account. Currently, we didn't have a few of the town board members on this account, which all board members should be able to sign checks if we need it. And also adding Carrie as another signature for our account.
Okay. Questions from the board? Starting with Trustee Nix.
No questions.
Trustee Lane.
No questions.
Trustee Wakeman.
No questions.
Trustee Orcutt.
No questions.
Trustee Beckman.
No questions.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean.
No questions.
No, I have no questions either, so I'll take a motion on the matter.
to close the public hearing.
Oh,
No.
sorry.
This one's
Oh,
not
it's
a
not?
public
This
hearing.
isn't a public hearing. What are you trying to do to me?
Sorry. I was just trying to keep her honest.
Yeah.
I move to adopt resolution 2025-16 and authorize the mayor to sign.
I'll second.
Town clerk, please call for a vote.
Trustee Nix.
Yes.
Trustee Orcutt.
Yes.
Trustee Wakeman.
Yes.
Trustee Beckman.
Yes.
Trustee Lane.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean.
Yes.
Mayor Austin.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you.
One thing I do want to say is if everybody can sign the ordinance that Carrie has, or resolution, I'm sorry, before you leave tonight, that way we can get it to the bank.
Sounds good. Okay, next item is consideration and adoption of ordinance number 2025-825, an ordinance for the town of Milliken, Colorado, adopting a new article to be added to the Milliken Municipal Code that restricts residency for certain sex offenders. Presenting today is Matthew Gould from our legal department.
Thank you, Mayor Austin. This is an ordinance or an area of interest that was brought to the attention by Chief Garcia. The purpose of this ordinance is to restrict the proximity within which certain sex offenders can reside with respect to children's activities. This was discussed, I think, in a lively and thorough fashion at the April 23rd work session. And at the end of the day, I think our instructions were, let's take a look at the proposed draft that we had at that time. So that's what's in front of you. This should not have, well, this has not been modified, and happy to answer any questions.
Okay, questions from the board, starting with Trustee Orcutt.
No questions.
Trustee Beckman?
No questions.
Trustee Nix?
No questions.
Trustee Lane?
No questions.
Trustee Wakeman?
No questions.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean?
No questions.
And I do not have any questions. We went over this quite thoroughly. So, there's no further questions or comments. I will take a motion on the matter.
I move to adopt ordinance 2025-825, an ordinance of the town of Milliken, Colorado, adopting a new article to be added to the Milliken Municipal Code that restricts residency for certain sex offenders.
I'll second.
Town clerk, please call for a vote.
Trustee Orcutt.
Yes.
Trustee Wakeman.
Yes.
Trustee Beckman.
Yes.
Trustee Lane.
Yes.
Trustee Nix.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean.
Yes.
Mayor Austin.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Next item is approval of a change order from Ditzler Construction for the alluvial well blending project. Well, this is challenging because
Well,
presenting.
I'll do it for John,
Oh.
since he is very busy right now.
Yes. So presenting in place of John Rabus will be Cheryl Powell, Town Administrator.
Thank you. Yes, this is a change order with Dietzler due to the unstable soil conditions and groundwater presence. If you remember that large piece of equipment that John showed you a video of. So instead of being able to continue to go over that area, they had to wait. They could remove some and then they would have to go back again later. So it was not an easy process whatsoever because the groundwater was so close to the surface. So due to that, it did cost us a little bit more money. We will not have to amend the budget for that as we had money in the contingency portion of it. So, but did want to bring the change order to you.
Thank you. Questions from the board? Trustee Wakeman?
No questions.
Trustee Lane?
No questions.
Trustee Nix?
No questions.
Trustee Beckman?
No questions.
Trustee Orcutt?
No questions.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean?
No questions.
Nope, pretty clear cut to me too, so I'll take a motion on the matter.
I move to approve the proposed construction change order for Detzler Construction Corporation for the amount of $31,098.39.
A second.
Town clerk, please call for a vote.
Trustee Wakeman.
Yes.
Trustee Beckman.
Yes.
Trustee Lane.
Yes.
Trustee Nix.
Yes.
Trustee Orcutt.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean.
Yes.
Mayor Austin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next item is approval of a change order with Coyote Ridge Construction for the Quinteen Stormwater Crossing. Presenting for John Rabus will be Cheryl Powell, Town Administrator.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. As you can see, part of this change order is the same thing. It's all in the same area for this different project. It's double handling of the saturated soil and also a rental of a wide track dozer for use out there. So again, it's not a budget change. We do have the contingency built in for that, but did want to bring it to you as well.
Thank you. Questions from the board? Trustee Beckman.
No questions.
Trustee Orcutt.
No questions.
Trustee Nix.
No questions?
Trustee Lane.
No questions.
Trustee Wakeman.
No questions.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean.
No questions.
With that, I don't have any, so I'll take a motion on the matter.
I move to approve the proposed construction change order with Coyote Ridge Construction in the amount of $77,072.
I second.
Town Clerk, please call for a vote.
Trustee Beckman?
Yes.
Trustee Lane?
Yes.
Trustee Orcutt?
Yes.
Trustee Wakeman?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean?
Yes.
Mayor Austin?
Yes.
Motion carries. Oh, Trustee Nix, sorry. I was on
You don't
such a good
count.
roll.
Wow, that was rough.
I even have you on here. I just skipped your name.
Quick to call you.
I know.
So did we get her yes?
Yes, I got her, yes. Motion still carries.
All right. Good to know. All right. Next item on the agenda is the approval of a construction agreement with Caravio Construction for the Public Works drainage improvements. Presenting in place of John Rabus will be Cheryl Powell, Town Administrator.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. We did budget for this project, but all the bids we received on this project came in above what we had budgeted. So earlier in the meeting tonight, we did do an appropriation. This was, from my understanding, the low bid on this project with a company that John felt would be good to do this stormwater drainage project for us.
Okay. Thank you. Questions from the board? Trustee Nix?
No questions.
Trustee Lane?
No questions.
Trustee Wakeman?
No questions.
Trustee Beckman?
No questions.
Trustee Orcutt?
No questions.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean?
No questions.
No, but I do like our maps. Thank you. With that being said, I'll take a motion on the matter.
I move to authorize the mayor to sign a construction agreement with Caraveo Construction Incorporated for the construction of the Public Works drainage improvements for $689,391.
Second.
Town Clerk, please call for a vote.
Trustee Lane?
Yes.
Trustee Nix?
Yes.
Trustee Orcutt?
Yes.
Trustee Wakeman?
Yes.
Trustee Beckman?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean?
Yes.
Mayor Austin?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Remaining reports are written. Does anybody have, any board members have any reports to present?
We hosted the, help me with the acronym.
We hosted a North Front Range MPO. We gave it, and they had their usual exciting meeting, did they not?
It was exciting.
And we did a short presentation since the hour was late. And I wanted to, again, thank the staff for putting that presentation together. Thank you.
Thank you.
The staff did do a good job, and Dan kind of sells it short, maybe a little bit, on, very thankful that he represents us there, and they do have some important conversations about air quality in northern Colorado, as well as traffic and anticipated projects and whatnot. And so very nice that I was able to be exposed to it somewhat, and right here in town, it was nice that they took their turn in coming to Milliken and seeing who we are and how we fall into the mix of their plans.
Thank you. Any other reports? Any other business to come before the board? Hearing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I second it, too.
Great. We're out. And I'm looking